I've been invited here today to talk about fitness more than flat tummies, so let me get down to that. So, fitness is actually being in very good physical condition, whereby you're able to sleep better, you're able to handle stress better. These things are very important. Of course, the shape is always there, that's a byproduct of being fit and being active. Now, the problem is most people who come to us, most women who come to us, yes, everybody wants weight loss, we understand that, but very few people understand what goes into being fit. Very often I have people coming and saying, oh, but I run and I walk and I think I'm fit. You need to understand that fitness, there are three aspects to fitness. One is your cardiovascular fitness, which means any kind of aerobic activity that you do, like walking, running, playing a game, anything that challenges your heart and your lungs, which makes your heart beats, pumps up your heart and gets more oxygen into your body because you're using more of your lungs. That's cardiovascular fitness. But the more important thing for a woman particularly is muscle training. It's called strength training. And women always ignore this aspect of it because somehow muscle fitness and training of muscles is associated with men. And if you imagine a gym, you would think probably of this sweaty place where men are lifting these heavy weights, and that's the way we all perceive a gym. And while everybody needs muscle fitness, actually the truth is it's women who need it much more than men, because men are actually gifted with muscles. I mean, biologically they have a lot more muscles than women have. Women unfortunately are born with more fat, which we all know, and we all know where that goes also. And we are not privileged to have that amount of muscles. Now, muscle is the one thing in your body which actually boosts your metabolism. It's the one thing that actually makes your body into a calorie burning machine, and it's the muscle that gives you the shape. End of the day, when you shed all the fat and improve your lean muscle mass, as we call it, that's the one that gives you the flat tummy and the shape that you're looking for. So just running or walking is not enough. You need to do considerable amount of muscle training. And again, when I say muscle training, people very often think, oh, I need to go to a gym and lift these huge weights. It's not so. I mean, weight is there to give you resistance to the body. You have to train your muscles against a resistance. Now you can do that with your own body weight as resistance. You can use simple things like a resistance band or just a stability ball to create that resistance. You don't always need big weights. And unlike men, in whose case when they work out, the muscle itself becomes bigger. So when you see men going to gyms, they all start looking bigger, and that's why everybody wants to look like a Salman Khan, I presume. So everybody wants six-pack abs and big muscles. But in the case of a woman, I think most women look forward to toning down. They want to look very toned and lean, and that's exactly what happens in a woman, because we do not have the hormone like a man. A man has something called testosterone, we all know that, but a woman has estrogen, and estrogen is the one that prevents you from bulking up. You can lift any amount of weight, you will never bulk up like a man. It's impossible. Unless you're on steroids, you're never going to look like a man. In the case of men, the muscle itself becomes big. In the case of women, the muscle size does not become big, but the fibers inside the muscle start getting stronger and stronger. So that's called lean muscle mass, and that's how women build strength, by just increasing the fibers inside their muscles and getting them stronger. So it's very good to do strength training. So along with cardiovascular activities like anything, running or just doing a stationary bike, a treadmill, running outside, whatever, all that is cardiovascular activity. And the third aspect of fitness which we often ignore is flexibility. So you need to have great flexibility of joints to be able to feel good about yourself. If you're going to be stiff all the time that you can't bend or you can't lift something, then half that, the reward of physical fitness is lost. So you need to have all three aspects to be optimally fit. And the best thing to do is get into a program which allows you to do all three of these. and try to wean away yourself from machines. Machines are not a great idea because whether it's a strength training machine or whether it's a cardio machine like your ellipticals, bikes, treadmills, they do give you a mechanical advantage. Uh, when you're on a machine and which is already moving, you're not really putting in the best effort there because it's easy to move on a moving surface, let me put it that way. Which is why I took to running. Running is an amazing sport. It really keeps you optimally fit. And like everybody else, I started with small runs. Then I moved towards half marathons. Then I started doing marathons, which are 42-kilometer distances. I've done several of those, and that again stopped being very challenging. So then I moved to 50-kilometer runs, moved to 75, and last year I did in that video I said I'm attempting, but I did finish a 100-kilometer run. When I started, I just wanted to bring this example to you because when I started training for it, which took me 6 months to train for a 100-kilometer run, it takes about 15 to 16 hours to do that kind of a run. You need to really, really train in a lot and condition your body to that kind of running. But it's all in our minds. I realize it's such a mind game because it's your mind which tells you that you can't do this, you can't do that. It's your body actually, when you condition it, it can do much more than you think you can do. The problem is we do not challenge ourselves, honestly do not challenge ourselves. It's like people keep getting bogged down by I can't. But I decided, and believe me, I was the only woman among maybe 8 or 9 male runners who was training for that. And I'm a senior woman, I'm over 50, so there was nobody in my age category. And it was pretty challenging because I had all these young boys running and I was thinking, what am I even doing here? But if you really train well, I'm glad to say not only did I finish it, I think I beat half the men there because men do not have the kind of endurance women have. No, honestly, because they have strength, but men do not have endurance. Women have a lot more endurance. You just need to build on that, and for a long run like this, you need a lot of endurance. So I realized it's not, I mean, it was tough. I'm not saying it was easy, but it was challenging, but it was worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt good doing it and saying that something I have achieved, which a woman would say normally, wow, what am I even doing here with all these men? But I said, no, I'm going to do this. And again, this year, I'm doing a 24-hour run, which should, hopefully, I'll do about 130. Again, no women, I'm the only woman doing it. So what I've learned from this experience is most of these challenges are in our minds. And this I've seen very often even when I'm running, that we go through a lot of ups and then we go through a lot of lows, and when those low phases come, it's like I can't move any further, and I almost want to give up. My body is fatigued, but if you really keep going, it's seriously like life, where when things go down, there is always an up immediately. I see that those waves coming even during our runs, our long runs. So there's a lot you learn when you do these things. It's not something you can do overnight, but you can challenge yourself, make yourself really fit to do a lot of things, and there's nothing in this world that any of us can't do, believe me. There are women, I know of senior women who have climbed Mount Everest and all that, so there's nothing that's not challenging, but all of these needs a lot of physical fitness. I've heard a very interesting saying which says, take care of your body is the only place you have to live in. And I think it's so profound because you may have all the wealth, whatever you have in this world, but if you're not fit and healthy, I think almost all of that does not make sense to us, does it?